What are carbon offsets for travel? Have you ever wondered how your travel choices impact the environment? Carbon offsets for travel are an important part of the conversation around sustainable tourism initiatives in Europe. When you travel, especially by air, you create carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions. These emissions contribute to climate change, and that is where carbon offsets come into play. Carbon offsets allow travelers to balance out the emissions they produce by funding projects that either reduce or remove an equivalent amount of greenhouse gases elsewhere. For example, a one-way flight from San Francisco to Paris generates about 1.25 metric tons of carbon emissions per passenger. This is a significant portion of the average person's annual carbon footprint. So how do carbon offsets actually work? When you purchase them, your money goes toward initiatives that prevent emissions or actively remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. These projects can include reforestation, renewable energy development, or energy efficiency improvements. The goal is to ensure that the carbon dioxide you emit through travel is balanced by an equivalent reduction elsewhere. Travelers can easily calculate their carbon footprint using online calculators. These tools estimate emissions from flights, car rides, or boat travel. After determining the amount of carbon produced, travelers can buy offsets measured in metric tons or a dollar amount that corresponds to their emissions. Many airlines and travel companies now offer carbon offset options directly when you book your trip. In Europe, there is a growing awareness of the need to reduce travel-related emissions. Sustainable tourism initiatives encourage the use of carbon offsets as part of broader efforts to lessen the environmental impact of travel. European companies and travelers are increasingly focused on cutting travel emissions. For those exploring Europe, carbon offsets can work hand in hand with other sustainable travel practices. Choosing trains or electric vehicles over flights, staying in eco-friendly accommodations, and minimizing waste are all great ways to travel sustainably. Offsetting emissions from unavoidable flights or transfers supports Europe's goals under international climate agreements like the Paris Agreement. If you want to put carbon offsets into practice during your travels, here are some tips. First, use carbon calculators tailored to European routes to estimate emissions from flights, trains, or car rentals. Next, purchase carbon offsets from reputable providers that support verified projects. Many of these projects may be based in Europe or contribute to European sustainability goals. Combine offsets with sustainable travel choices, such as using public transportation, biking, or staying in green-certified hotels. If you are traveling for business, consider policies that incorporate carbon offsetting to meet corporate sustainability targets. Carbon offsets for travel provide a practical way for European travelers to address the environmental impact of their journeys. By funding projects that reduce or remove greenhouse gases, travelers can contribute to sustainable tourism initiatives across Europe. This approach not only helps mitigate the carbon footprint of travel but also supports global climate goals.